Hello and welcome back. This is Rochelle with Soul Activities. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining me and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Please like this video and leave a comment. I would love any and all of those. I would be appreciative of. But let's jump right in. I have seen some banter going on around social media where people are talking about being 40, how they're feeling, some doom, some gloom, and they're acting like it's all downhill from here. I am over 40 and I love it here. And I want to welcome you guys into this space of loving it here too. So let's talk about it. I do have 10 things that as a 40-year-old or a woman approaching 40, you should 100% be doing. So I do have a list here. I may look down every so often to refer to it, but let's just jump right in. I personally have never been afraid of aging up into that next decade. When I aged into 30, I was very excited. I felt like I paved the way in my 20s by going to school and setting the foundation, and I did all this stuff. So I knew that in my 30s it was time to enjoy and reap the benefits of what I had sown. Entering into 40, oh, I felt that even more so. I felt like, okay, I've been doing all these great things, and now it's time for me to do my last little push of building while enjoying and surrounding myself with all the things that I love. And yeah, it's been everything that I expected it to be. But knowing that everybody doesn't feel the way that I feel about being 40, I want to help to kind of spread and share some of that joy and tell you guys how to kind of bottle it up and get it too. So, the first thing that you're going to be doing is these first two are the absolute most important things that you should be doing. Number one is going to be your mammogram. Welcome to Club 40. You get a mammogram covered by insurance if you're blessed enough to have insurance. Get your mammograms. Please, please, please get your mammograms. Remember, you don't always have to feel something in your breast for there to be an issue that is serious. I know people personally who have had breast cancer before and had no clue that they had it, and the only way that it was detected was because the mammogram spotted it. Please, please, please call your insurance. I personally tried to get my mammogram at 39 years and 10 months. I was denied. My doctor was like, I will write your requisition and then you can take it on your birthday. That was a little disheartening that being 2 months away, my insurance wouldn't cover it, but whatever. Still went back a couple months later and did the thing. Make sure you do it. The next thing is going to go side by side. You should be scheduling your physical anyway. So please, 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 not just get your mammogram, get your pap smear as well. We are in our 40s, ladies. We have to take care of ourselves. Like, some of us look young, some of us feel young, some of us are in great shape, but we never know what's going on the inside. So, let's handle that. The next thing we should be doing, this makes me feel a little bit older when I say this, but we should be building muscle. When we're in the gym, it's not just about cardio anymore. We need to be building muscle. As we age, we are losing muscle, our bones, we're losing density. It is so real. It's starting to get real. So make sure that when you're doing those exercises, you are lifting some weights. Even if they're body weight exercises, do body weight exercises, whatever it is, but we are not in a space in life anymore where we can just run and run and run. Like, no, we need to actually be building muscle, toning, strength training, do a yoga class, build those muscles. Like I said, body weight is also fine as well. So make sure that you are building those muscles and overall just exercising in general. Our muscles are use them or lose them. We don't want to lose anything. Like, we have our whole lives ahead of us. We are still young. Don't forget that. We are still young. The next thing is make sure that you are planning for retirement. As I just came from saying we are still young, but we're responsible as well. And we know how fast these last 20 years went in adulthood. Just imagine how fast the next 20 years are going to go. And you don't want to be at the end of the next 20 years scrambling. So make sure that you're coming up with a way that you can invest and or save responsibly. We're not talking fast money. We're not talking day trading or anything like that. We're talking like long-term stock investments. You may be a 401k girly, you may be an IRA girly, whichever that is. If your company is matching, make sure that you're contributing. If you're, whatever that limit is for your IRA, max that limit every year. I believe most of the time the limit is like 5,500, I believe. Max it if you're able. If you're in a position, max it out. If you have a home, refinance if needed into a lower interest rate. I know this is not the time for a lower interest rate. Things are wild, things are crazy right now. But when it is the time, get you a lower interest rate or even use your equity to purchase another home. Make sure that you are getting these investments and setting yourself up. Stop waiting for home prices to go down. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for home prices to go down. They probably won't. Historically, looking at things over the last like 50 years, Los Angeles alone, the home prices have risen over 200%. Stop waiting for home prices to go down. Make your move. If you're going to do it, do it. And if it's not going to be in an expensive city, do it in a less expensive city. But in our 40s is not the time to talk. It's not the time to talk about it. It's the time to be about it. So go ahead and make those investments. And remember, when you're making those investments, you're investing in assets, not liabilities. If you're confused by that, a great book to read is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Fantastic book. It really lays out assets versus liabilities. Your assets will grow and grow your wealth. Your liabilities will not take your wealth, but your liabilities will depreciate rather than appreciate. For example, if you have a car, that is going to depreciate. A few years ago, cars were actually appreciating because the economy was so crazy. But right now, a car is going to depreciate. You could very well end up upside down on a car loan. The car is not something that you want to go and max out your budget on if you don't have assets. So make sure you're investing. Please, please, please. I can't say enough about investing. The next thing is raising your kids. Just finish raising your kids, building those memories. Some of us, listen, when I was like a 20-year-old, it seemed like everybody around me was having kids, and that's just how it was. People had kids young. Now nowadays, with the economy, with the education, with all these other things that have kind of slowed that process down for us, I have tons of friends in their 40s having their first kids, or at least their late 30s having their first kids. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Embrace it, because at the end of the day, you are raising kids for 18 years in your care, in your custody, in your home. After that, the kid is free to leave. They may stay, they may not, but you have 18 limited years with those children. Raise them, put that time in, put the time in with your family. If you're in a position where your kids, like I have a 15-year-old, he's almost grown. I'm cherishing those moments with him. I'm making memories, I'm cherishing the moments, and I'm also preparing him and myself mentally that he will not be in my household necessarily for much longer. Unfortunately, like, it makes me a little sad, but the reality is he's his own person, and I'm doing my best to raise him into his own person who can do just fine without me. But of course, I'm going to always be there. But raise your kids, finish enjoying those years if you have them. And if you don't, that's also fine too. But if you have them, spend that time with them, because the time goes so fast. Even though, especially if you're a single mom, you will feel so overwhelmed some days. You will feel like you have way too much of a burden on your shoulders. Not that your kids are a burden, but it's just everything from work to trying to care for yourself, for kids, to keep a household, to keep a car and make payments and do all these things becomes a lot. But just remember to slow down enough to really enjoy. Another thing is your clothes. Dress for you. Like, truly dress for you. At this big grown age that you're approaching, how do you feel comfortable? Stop wearing the like skin tight, cleavage showing, booty popping clothes. You're not a 20-year-old anymore. And if you don't want to wear that, you don't have to wear that. think about why you're wearing it. Are you wearing it for yourself because that's how you like to look, you feel comfortable, or are you wearing it for him or some him out there to notice? If you are, stop that. Forget about these men. Center yourself. And at age 40, we're centering ourselves. We're being selfish in here. We're gonna live like men. Center yourself and dress how you feel. Now, if you want your cleavage popping, if you want your booty popping, if you want like body hugging, this and that, do it. But just do it for you. Make sure that you are the reason that you are doing these things. Make sure this is how you feel most comfortable and you feel most beautiful. Do not do it for approval. In our 40s, we are not doing anything for societal or otherwise approval. Another thing is embracing change. One thing that is talked about so much when you're growing up is puberty. Everybody knows that when you're around 12 and through teenage years, there's puberty. Your body will change, your voice will change, things will change. Sometimes even hair color or hair texture changes. You get hair in places that you didn't have hair before. Everybody knows the rules of puberty as a teenager. Nobody talks about puberty comes in spurts and in phases. And as you enter your 40s, you are entering a spurt and a phase. You will again start to find hair potentially in places that you did not have them before. You may even experience like facial hair. You may experience weight gain when you have never had an issue with weight. That's my story. Like, I have never had any weight issues ever. But all of a sudden, here I am, I'm 40 and the metabolism has just left the building. And I actually, for the first time in my life, have to watch what I eat. And there are so many changes. My body looks different than it's ever looked. I almost feel like my first puberty, my body sat that round out because my body didn't change much other than getting a little taller. But now I'm curvier than I've ever been. And it's not a bad thing. Nobody told me my things would be different. Like, even my menstrual cycle is slightly different than it used to be. I've also had 2 kids, I get it, but life and my body is just so different than it used to be. So just embracing those changes. And remember, our hair is going to start to get gray. That's okay. Do you know how many people don't make it to their 40s and would have done anything to make it to their 40s and to experience gray hairs or some extra body fat or whatever it is that we're complaining or wishing was different about ourselves? Aging is not a bad thing. Embrace it. It's actually a very, very beautiful thing. I know that our culture and society teaches us that we want to stay forever young. We want to Botox and put injections, literally inject botulism in our face in order to create enough paralysis to stay young looking. There's no judgment here. Do what you want to do. There's no judgment. Like, I may end up doing it one day. There's no judgment. I'm just saying that our society really does push these certain things when in reality, there's absolutely nothing wrong with aging. There's nothing wrong with aging at all. So another thing is advancing in your career. And in your 40s, you should be advancing in your career. If you are in a career field where there's no room for growth, you feel stuck, you feel underappreciated, you need to be sitting down with a pen and paper, or at the very least ChatGPT, figuring out what else you can do. What transferable skills do you have that you can put on a resume and go somewhere else? You absolutely 100% should be appreciated, and you should be feeling appreciated. You should not be feeling like if something happens to me, my job will replace me immediately without a second thought. If that is the case, that may not be the job for you. I know that that's easier said than done, but I really encourage you to get out there and find a new skill, acquire a new skill, see what else it is that you can do relatively, quickly or inexpensively or whatever your case may be. If you have time, go back to school. If you have money, go back to school. If you don't, there are certificate programs. There are things that you can do. There are businesses you can build on your own. There may not be a job out there for you. There may not be a position as a worker for anyone that's for you, but just remember, we all have free will. If there's something that you're good at, if you're good at baking cookies or cupcakes, doing hair, whatever it is, make that a business. Have enough faith in yourself to believe and make that a business. If you're like, I don't know where to start, there is AI, there is ChatGPT. If you know somebody who's already done it, I encourage you to talk to them and get tips and tricks. That you are watching me right now on YouTube. Don't stop this video, but when this video is done, go find somebody who is doing what you think you might want to do and go for it. Like for myself, I was a social worker and I got really tired of it. Gosh, that's been a while, almost 10 years ago. And I decided to start a real estate career. I got a real estate license. I decided in November, and by June I was taking my test. I had completed all my classes online. I was taking my test and I was licensed. 7 months later in June, I was licensed. So, and I did that full time and made a career out of that and did that for 6 years. You can do it. You can do it too. Along the way, I acquired other commissions, licenses, things like that, specialties. I ended up getting like certified in probate real estate, and I ended up getting a notary commission along the way. And you know, these are all things that I still have. I could fall back on, or I could just go and do those things if I wanted to do them full time again. So there are things you can do that are relatively quickly. When I did my notary commission, that was quick. It was a 1-day class. I took one class for, I don't know, 5 hours, and at the end we had a test. That was it. Like, that was it. That's all that it required. I did have to do a live scan in order to become a notary, but it was very, very low barrier. It's something you could do in addition to the work that you do now if you want, or make it an entire business. So advancing in your career is a must. Next, make time for you. Just make time for you, not you and the kids or you and the boyfriend, the husband, whatever. No, make time for you. Take some time, use your vacation time. Do not let it accrue and pile up, because for what? Something could happen at any point and you just donated all your time. Like, don't have 500, 600 vacation hours. I don't even know what that feels like, to be honest. I've gotten really close to 100 once and just couldn't make it. Like, I needed my vacation time. Take the day off and go to a spa. Take the day off and go to a Korean spa if the budget is not big. Korean spas are not more than $30. You can stay there as long as you would like. You can go in and out of the saunas and things. Enjoy your day. Take a day off and just read. Take a day off and just relax. Don't clean, don't cook, don't do this and that. If you have to, then fine. Whatever, take another day later. But really and truly, just take a day for you. Do a facial, do something you've been wanting or needing. Get your nails done or do them yourself. It doesn't matter. Just take some time for you. Sit with yourself in taking that time for you. If you've never done shadow work, I highly recommend it. It really gets to the root of why you feel the way you feel about certain things or how they show up in your life. And I really highly recommend doing self-work. Journal, meditate, do yoga. Better yet, come to one of my sound baths or check out one of my sound baths here on YouTube and just lay there and get swept away in the sound and relax. I highly, highly encourage it. And last, but definitely not least, is just eating healthy. Watch what you're eating. Watch what you're putting in your body. Our bodies have made it 40 years on the standard American diet. That in and of itself is a feat. So making sure that you are just providing the nutrients that you need, not only taking supplements and then eating trash, but really trying to remember to eat for nourishment and eat to live. Don't make it about living to eat and constantly thinking about the next meal and the food noise and everything that comes along with the high sugar foods that we have, the low density foods that we have. They all cause these sorts of adverse reaction, like wanting more sugar, wanting more food, having cravings. fight against it by eating whole foods. Eat clean. You don't have to do it 100% of the time. Do it as often as possible. Make it a thing where maybe on the weekends you go out and eat out to eat, or maybe once a week or whatever. But really train your body to give up the donuts and the candy and the junk that we were able to eat at one point and it not affect us in the way that it does now. So embrace your 40s. I hope that you guys are doing everything that I mentioned and more. Travel, see the world, grace the world with your presence. And I hope that this list has been helpful. And congratulations, you made it to 40, or you're very close, or maybe you're already there. And if you're having a birthday watching this, happy birthday. Do not forget to subscribe for more videos like this and enjoy your day. Bye.